All right, everybody, welcome to spring of 2018 in New England. No more coastal storms, what's out there is melting, and the temperature's slowly warming up. I haven't done a gear review in a long time. I think late summer of 2015 was the last one I did. Back then I was carrying this. What am I carrying now? What's changed? Oh, just a little bit. So, let's take a look at what I got in the bag this year. And before I get this one started, I just want to apologize in advance. I really wanted to do this review outside, but unfortunately Mother Nature is not cooperating. It's sunny enough, it's warm enough, but unfortunately the wind's honking out there, and you're just not going to hear me talking. It's going to be nothing but wind noise on the camera. So unfortunately we're going to do this one from inside. The first detecting bags that I really got into was an inspiration from Stealth Diggers and what Charlie uses, and it's still one of my favorite pieces. This is the 511 Moab 6 Sling Pack. I still use it. It's still very versatile, but there were some changes to my gear that outgrew this, unfortunately. But we're going to be seeing more of this year. Since I'm going to be doing less cellar hole hunting and more permissions, I'm not going to need to haul everything I own out in the woods. So we will be seeing more of this pack this year since I'm not going to be too far from the car. In the meantime, let's start with what I carry on me physically, as opposed to what we just saw in the big bag. So let's get set up and take a look at what I carry. Okay, getting started with what I actually carry on me. What's on my belt, what I'm carrying in my hands, stuff that's just right there. I don't have to go into a pack to get. We're actually going to start with pants, which isn't typical in a gear review, I suppose, but in this case, these are very important and fantastic for detecting. I love these. These are the Duluth Trading Ultimate Fire Hose Flex Pants. They're not cheap. They're around $75, but they are very justified in the price. They are built like a brick, you know what. They have an incredible amount of pockets on them. There's pockets everywhere, and that's a good thing. That's what metal detectors want. I can keep a tin on me. I can keep other stuff on me. And most important, knee pads. Here in New England, you've got rocks everywhere, and they're under the leaves and everything else. And the worst thing in the world is kneeling down on the edge of a sharp rock. I hate wearing real knee pads. They're a pain in the butt. It's just one more thing you got to carry with you. They're strapped to you, and yeah, I don't like them. These come with an insert for knee pads. They're not unlike the ice fishing suits that have built-in knee pads as well. If you're kneeling on ice, you can kneel on a sharp piece of ice. They're knee savers and they're lifesavers. I absolutely love them, and they were inspired by Kurt Franz. I saw him wearing them years ago, and I had to find out what they were. This is actually my second pair. My first pair I beat to death. They're still fine, but I just don't fit into them anymore. I've grown in the waist, so pair number two, and I have the other ones for backup. Getting a look at what I actually carry on me, almost nothing's changed here. I think you've seen pretty much all of this in the last review, and I just like the configuration. What I'm still carrying is the Husky 9-pouch tool belt that simply goes through the belt on my pants there. Fantastic. It's got a good enough size dump pouch that I don't need it too big, it's not too small. Inside, I carry a toothbrush with me, get the dirt off the relics before the dirt has a chance to set up. Flashlight to identify those fine details, you know, shine a light across the edge of a coin, something else to help you figure out what it is out in the shady woods. Still carry my foo-foo juice. That's always good to have. I don't dig a ton of silver, but instead of trying to rub the dirt off of it, it's much better to do that. I keep a couple plastic baggies on me. If I'm digging up something that's crumbling like pewter, I want to bring it home in some of that damp soil I dug it in, keep it from drying out and flaking. That way I can get it home and do the preservation on it before it has a chance to degrade. As well, I carry a little plastic cloth. Basically, that's for permissions. You dig a hole, I need to go a little deeper, and you dump some dirt somewhere. It's not on their lawn. It's going to go onto the drop cloth, so you go right back in the hole. As well, I got my favorite black towel. I always like having something out in the woods I can either wipe the sweat off me or dirt, whatever. Very valuable. This might be the only change. I think in the last video I was running the black Garrett. Don't remember. But the nice thing about this Husky pouch is it has a clip right on the front that you can hang your factory Garrett pinpointer holder or any other holder right off there. Same deal. That sits over on my left side since I'm a righty. Next to that, hanging off that big loop that you saw in the pants, is my Lesh hand digger. I've had this for years. It's fantastic. I don't really need it as much in the woods as, say, people who are doing lawns and whatnot, but it's good to have with you in case you're trying to get between rocks and roots and other stuff that the larger digger just can't get through. And for me, the larger digger is still my favorite one, the 31-inch Samson T-handle. It's incredibly light. The head could be a little bit bigger for removing more soil, especially on lawns and fields, but in the woods, where you're always banging and bashing through trees and whatnot, it's very valuable, especially weight-wise if you're putting some miles on during the day. A heavy shovel, maybe 5 pounds, can make a big difference at the end of the day versus one that's less than 3. So, very valuable tool. I can't break it. Built like a brick, you know what, too. And my gloves. These are my mechanic gloves. I've got a couple other pairs that do various things. Winter ones, summer ones, and whatnot. Always have to have my gloves on. So that's what I carry on me at all times. Let's switch over and take a look at the big bag. And onto the big show. Yeah, there's a clear difference in the size and the weight of the pack that I was carrying 2.5 years ago versus what I carry with me now. Now, not everything that's in here that I'm going to show you I actually carry with me on every hunt. It's not needed, so the pack can be lighter, can be heavier. I may have more water with me in the summer. I may have less in the winter. But some things have changed. Let's take a look inside. So, a look inside the big bag, and there was really no special choice in this. I knew I needed a bigger pack, but you also need something with a lot of little pouches and compartments in it, because that's very valuable to have everything organized where you can find it fast instead of getting a backpack with no pockets and everything's falling to the bottom and you're digging through there like a squirrel. I went to Wally World and just looked through backpacks till I found the one with the most compartments that would suit my needs, and this is it, some generic outdoor brand. We're going to start from the outside, I guess, and work our way inside. And at the very top, one of the most important things for metal detectorists, munchies. I love my beef jerky. I always have for ages, even back in my hiking days, back in the 80s and 90s. I'm still a Cliff Bar guy. I love my Cliff Bars. They've got a recently new flavor, the peanut butter banana with dark chocolate. Oh, very addictive. That's what I keep up here. Quick access to the munchies in case you start blacking out after a long hike. You can get right at it. Maybe I'll throw my keys in there too. This pack as well has additional pouches on the side. It's got 2 zipper pouches on the very outside, and I've always got 2 bottles of water in there. That's pretty good when it's cooler out. I don't need to be drinking in water as much. When it's really hot out, the inner pouches as well will fit those same bottles of water. But today I don't have water in there. One of the things I do still have is my Gomboy handsaw by Silky. You can't get a folding pack saw anymore built in America, but you can get them from Japan. And the quality on these is fantastic. This is the Silky Gomboy 210. You've seen it in my other videos. The blade on it is second to none. It's an amazing tool. It's very lightweight, and this is a fantastic landscaper tool. You can notch it back for cutting underneath, or you've got your traditional position. Very handy tool. Not the cheapest in the world, but when you really need to cut through something, you don't want to be using a Chinese blade out there for days and days and days and days and days. Very handy tool. You can get them on Amazon. Maybe around 35 bucks. It's been a while. Nothing else in there. That doesn't get quite as used as much as this next tool. Most of the time you can pretty much drag stuff out of your way, cellar holes and whatnot, but it's good to have a saw in case you get stuck in the woods for the night. Here in New England, this is a little more important in your pack. This is a pair of cheap Fiskars hand cutters. What we run into cellar holes a lot is a lot of barberry and a lot of overgrowth, and you can't pull barberry out, and you're at the lip of a cellar hole, and you know that barberry is blocking you from doing stuff. So sometimes you really got to bite the bullet. You got to spend about a half an hour, and you got to go along and clip along the base of them and get that out of there. And I have gotten relics as a result of doing this. So something to consider carrying with you. Not something I carry with me all the time, but if I know I'm going to be somewhere where I'd be handy, I carry that as well. Something else that sometimes stays on me, sometimes goes in the bag. If you're a stealth digger, you've seen these. This is the EOD robotics bar from CountyCom. I've had this for a long, long time. Another good piece of EDC tool that's easy to keep in my bag. I probably don't carry it as much on me in the woods as some people do, but I've already got a lot on me, so that's why it winds up as an option in the bag. So that's it, I think, for the side pouches. Let's take a look at the rest. Okay, next stop is going to be the inside compartments here. I got a big one, a smaller one, and I've got a little outside one as well here that I kind of keep for quick access. Typically, I keep a spare set of gloves in there in case I get, wet, muddy, whatever. I can go get a quick pair of dry gloves without having to run too far. As well, I keep my fine tins in here. One's always on me, but if I'm having a good day, I fill one up. I can come back to the backpack, throw one in, grab an empty one. There's something in there. And then I can head right back out again. That's also typically got another spare towel in there in case my towel gets soaked or whatever. Not the case right now. Alright, we'll take a look in the bigger compartment first, because this is where more of the changes have happened and necessitated the reason for the upgrade. Last year you saw I went to wireless headphones on my MXT. I can't hang these off the detector and walk through the woods like I would with a cheaper set of headphones, because these just aren't built for that type of use. So fortunately they got to go in the backpack with me, which is fine, there's room. Another big change, my good rain jacket died, and that waterproof coating they put on them just started flaking off, and it wasn't a raincoat anymore. So I found them on sale dirt cheap. I bought a pair of frog togs. I got the jacket and I got the pants. They're cheap, they're light, they work, but they don't pack down very small. This is something that won't remain permanent. I will probably switch to a more expensive traditional rain jacket that I can really pack down and get the pants and the jacket down to this size instead of being that big. But for now, I'll stay dry. As well, this might have been in my other video, the Energizer Professional headlamp. I've had this thing forever. I've even used it for ice fishing. It's great pivots. There's all kinds of different LED options on here, as well as red for that glare-free vision in the woods, in case you want to do something that doesn't need glare. One of the other additions you've seen, and this is something that comes with me on every hunt as well. It doesn't fit in there. This is the Eclipse Double D shooter coil, the 4x6 that Spectrum Bill gave me about a year and a half or so ago. And it's something that stays in here, obviously, because you never know when you're going to run into a hole. It's got a lot of tin or just a boatload of nails. Very good to have, or if you got an overgrown site where my 10-inch coil just isn't very effective to use. So always have that with you now. Don't want to miss the relics. Towards the bottom, just some other stuff I think I've shown before. I've got some paracord here all bundled up, probably 50 feet, just in case you get stuck in the woods. Maybe at night you need to tie something together for a little stand or whatever. I've got a magnesium and striker set up here for fire starting. A little bit of painter's tape in case you got to tape something to something, you never know. And of course stealth digger tokens, because you never know when you want to hand those out to people in the woods. And I have occasionally. And way at the bottom is just a spare towel. I actually just keep it down there mostly to keep the bottom of the bag from getting torn or anything poking through there. Just safety. Nice, nice. All right, let's take a peek and take a look what's in the inner pouch. And the inner pouch in here is just fairly flat. It's right against my back on the other side of the pouch, so nothing significant can go in here, unfortunately. I've got a bunch of plastic bags here of different sizes. If it rains, my detector is not waterproof. So I've got bags in here that allow me to slip it over the head and over the whole main box of the unit and over the arm cuff and everything like that, keep it dry. It's something I've done before, and it works just fine. As well, something everybody should carry in the woods, plenty of paper towels or TP or whatever, because you never know when you gotta go, and we all have. A couple other things I keep in here, some summer stuff, a little bug spray. Never know when you're going to be in real hell country, so you're going to need some extra bug protection. I keep a head net in there as well. I hate wearing them, but... And zip ties, same thing. You never know when you need to maybe fix somebody's detector. Zip tie sticks together if you're stuck in the woods overnight. You never know. It doesn't cost any weight. No penalty for carrying that stuff with you. That's all I have on the inside part of this bag. So pop her open and take a look inside the final zipper pouch of the bag. Last but not least is the smaller zipper pouch on the backpack. And this is the one that tends to have more little pockets in it. So this is where I keep all my little smaller stuff and some of my oddball items. Right on the inside you can see, here's all your little pouches. I've got another tin here that I keep for some first aid stuff, band-aids and whatnot in there. I've got a Gerber multi-tool. I love this thing. This stays with me as well. Same deal. We've got a broken metal detector. This thing's got a ton of options for tools and whatnot back here, as well as pseudo-survival tools as well. Nothing I trust solely to survival, but it is a good tool to have indeed. That comes with me. On this side, I keep a spare lighter. I mean, I've got my magnesium stick and whatnot, but you can never have too many options when you're out in the woods. Lighter gets wet, go to the magnesium stick. Magnesium stick's not working, go to lighter. Over here as well is a bunch of batteries. I keep a spare 9-volter with me. A bunch of AA's and a bunch of AAA's. I don't need batteries very much. My machines all run on rechargeables. But I've got my wireless headphones. If the rechargeables in here die, I can switch over to alkaline. Transmitter as well on the detector. If batteries in it die, I got my backups as well here. That's kind of it in here. I don't know. Yeah, same deal. I've got a spare towel on the bottom and my gear ties. These are fantastic if you want to strap something to the backpack, or right now my phone's actually being held in place right now with a gear tie. Great option out in the woods. More batteries. And that is pretty much it, what I carry for gear out in the woods. And like I said, not all of this goes with me on every hunt, but for the most part, a lot of it does. You know, obviously the rain gear won't go with me on every hunt, but if they're calling for showers or something, yeah, I'll make room in the pack for it. But otherwise, it's not too heavy, except in the summer when I've got a lot of water in there. That's when it gets pretty heavy. Let's do one more stop along the tour here. Let's take a look at the 2 detectors that I'm still running, and then we're going to call this one a video. Hang on. Alrighty, and finally, my girls. It's no secret I'm a whites guy, but it wasn't always like that. Back in Memorial Weekend of 2014, when I first got into detecting, I was running a Garrett Ace 350. By Labor Day weekend, I had gotten sick of the bell tones. Wanted something that was just a little more technical, and a friend of mine was selling his uncle's White's V3i with the Spectrasound headphones for a deal that I couldn't pass up. So I started using that after Labor Day of 2014. It was a very steep learning curve going from an Ace 350 to this, but it taught me a lot, and I dug a lot of good stuff with it. Come summer of 2015, I had the opportunity to buy a White's MXT, not the Pro, just a plain MXT for a great price. It was in fantastic shape, so I jumped on it for a backup detector. Kept swinging this. Finally in October, I started feeling guilty about buying the machine and not running it, so I took the MXT out on its first cellar hole hunt, and I was in love. The recovery on it is so fast, and it's such a simple machine to just get out there, turn on, and go, especially in the mineralized woods in New England. This can be a little crankier to dial in, where this one, I can just get on it and go. This hasn't replaced this in any means. A multi-frequency machine is still an invaluable machine. This is rock solid at the beach. I've done a saltwater hunt with it. I did very well. But for relic hunting, this is my go-to machine. And obviously last year you saw me convert it over to wireless. And my review of the Sennheiser RS160 wireless headphones is still up. And they're still in use after over a year, so they're doing better than I hoped. My two machines, I don't think this is going to change anytime in the future unless somebody wants to hand me a Mindlab Equinox to play with or a Deus XP. I'd like to try one of those out as well. That's it, guys. Thank you for sticking around for this one. Let's wrap it up. And that's it. My metal detecting gear, updated for 2018. Hopefully some of the newer detectors found something they like. If you guys have any suggestions for what I'm using, maybe something different, any criticisms, anything like that, down in the comments section, let's talk about it. Always interested to see what people are using for gear of their own. You never know when you're going to find something that you like better than what you're using now. Next video, I'm digging. I don't care where. I'll find something. Most likely a permission, maybe with some friends. Don't know yet. Thanks for watching this one, guys, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks or so with something new.